Hello everyone. In this webinar today, we will present how powerful combo of Tempo Timesheets from Tempo and Timesheets Check from Decadis will bring your time tracking to another level. Thanks again everyone for joining. My name is Filip and I am a partner account manager of Tempo. I am joined here by one and only Michele Toscani from both Atlassian and Tempo partner Decadis. We have a quite packed agenda and some cool stuff to present. First, we will cover some quick introduction about our products to those who may not be aware of their benefits. 30 minutes is probably not enough to walk through all possible use cases, but we have chosen one that will grasp all of the most important features and help us to guide you through the live demo. And at the end, we'll do a Q&A session. Okay, just before we dive deeper into the demo, I thought it would be good to answer why do we measure time? So time tracking, is ultimately just a means to understand what we are doing in order to get more value out of one of our most limited resources, that is time. It isn't about spying or getting your employees angry about controlling them. But still, introducing time tracking software to a business can be a delicate process. While the benefits of logging time are clear, increased productivity, enhanced transparency, more accurate benefits of logging time are clear. Like also getting the valuable insights, more accurate billing, employees may initially feel that their company doesn't trust them. This is unfortunate because time tracking software is not about policing employees. So when implemented properly, it's about optimizing business operations with actionable data. There is no doubt that tracking time with software brings a lot of value insights into your company's workings. This is why Tempo Timesheets is a great choice for your time tracking. It is user-friendly, which is most important, but it also delivers a business value. Tempo Timesheets is a time tracking and reporting solution that seamlessly integrates with Jira to help teams and managers to cover all the most important areas of time tracking. Tempo Timesheets is #1 time tracking app that you can find on Atlassian Marketplace, and it's compatible with cloud, server, and data center. Tempo Timesheets allows you to track time using automated timers and log your calendar events, and use Tempo Mobile to track time from literally everywhere. Okay, so who we had in mind when we developed Tempo Timesheets and what are the most common use cases? Most popular one, it simplifies end users' life with being on top with their tasks in Jira, log time directly in Jira, and as a result, being able to capture that in the very highly automated manner. Tempo has also an ability to track billable and non-billable time, and it's a great way to have an accurate invoices to help to understand the actual cost of your project. In the same thing, Tempo has the ability to capture CAPEX and OPEX, which is something that your accounting and financial departments will be thankful for when applying for government grants, and this can represent a large amount of money. Timesheets will be beneficial across all the organization, from end users to project managers that want to ensure that projects are on time, team leads that wants to make sure everyone log their time correctly, and management team that can get all the data from Tempo and present them to stakeholders. Okay, now let's take a look at some taken from a live example. Let's say that a fast-growing pharmaceutical company named Filip is conducting a lot of new projects and hiring many contractors because of their fast growth. So Filip is using Jira on cloud for their projects. Right now, two major problems arose. Filip accounting team has a problem to track billable hours to create an invoice for paying the contractors. Also, internal audit reported that due to EU regulations about working time, companies should stay compliant with them. So decision has been made to start with timesheets to see how it can track time for invoicing. And also Filip team discovered that a timesheets check solution from Decadis can be used with Tempo Timesheets to solve the problem with the low regulations. Now, let's imagine that I am project manager in Blueleaf and I am handling this contract work. I'll cover some of the key features of Tempo Timesheets. So, but before going to the demo, just and start to work with the tool, there's a need to do some initial setup in your Jira instance. For that purpose of the demo, that was done, let's say, behind the scenes. So usually we know that some kind of Jira admin should do that, but do not to waste time on details. Here are some main points. So first of all, our admin has chosen Tempo as time tracking provider in Jira. Blueleaf Jira admin created a Jira user group with only contractors from Blueleaf. They have received Tempo Timesheets access permissions, and of course, they need to work on a project and issues in Jira, so new design project was created for them. They also have a special workload scheme that was prepared for them to cover the specific hours that they are working on, and Jira admin created a team in Tempo to set up Tempo accounts, as we want to track Blueleaf contractors' billable hours by accounts and to track internal issues also by using the account feature to make their work more dissectable. Okay, so let's dive into the demo. Okay, right now we are here on our cloud instance. Once you install the app, it will be visible here in the apps section of your Jira instance. And when you launch it, there will be like all installed Tempo apps will be available from here. As a Blueleaf project manager, I can now log my time and also take a look into my Blueleaf contractors team performance using reports. As told before, my teammates and I could log time quickly using different methods. For example, using mobile app to track the time, not track directly from the Jira issues themselves. So there's a lot of ways that I can just track and report my time. So now you have the you see the my work view on Tempo Timesheets. It seems like there is a lot of information to digest, but this is really simple. My work is what an end user will typically see, and this is home base for operations for user here. We see the scheduler here for a weekly period. And on the right side, we see that Taylor, our product manager, is working on certain number of hours that has been based on the workload scheme that was applied to a team of Blueleaf contractors. Here in this section, I can see how many hours has been already logged against the issues that week and what I was working on during that week. One of the methods to log a time will be launching dialog box simply by using W key everywhere when Tempo is launched. But you can also use the other methods like directly using Jira issues or log time here, but using this tab or using the Jira issue picker from the right side. For example, I want to track time for today. So I will just choose this issue from the list, and I will just like track my time. So just to cover what I was doing today. So now the dialog box has opened, and I see that I can log a time for myself. I see what kind of issue I'm logging the time against, and see how the duration of that task. For example, let's say that today I worked 4 hours for the backend development and payments in our project, in our design project. So you can also see another fields, but what was crucial for our business case was that here for the Blueleaf contractors, the problem we wanted to solve was to bill them correctly. So here is Tempo accounts, which will help us to better understand the billable and non-billable hours logged by Blueleaf contractors. So here our contractor can log a time for a specific account created. Let's take a quick look into things done behind the scenes. This is into the accounts. So here I created some of the accounts. So you can see that I can track my time against the billable, non-billable hours, and I have a separate account to track the internal issues for contractors. That is if I want to track non-related project activities like vacations, sick time, or other things. Of course, that could be done in other way, but I think this is most efficient here. So right now, I want to track these 4 hours against blue leaf billable. So that will be hours that I will be paid for. So it's very simple. So right now I can just like simply log time for that day. So what I will see, a new grade work log has been created. Amount of hours worked for that day will change here also for the blue leaf contractor, as well as the total amount of hours worked per week. Now, after whole work for the week is done, contractors log their time and submit their timesheets at the end of the period. So here, my work log, for that period can be sent to by me to my manager to submit my work done during that period to be approved. Blue leaf contractors are a team in Tempo. It's also I, as a team lead, can also approve their timesheets to make them timesheets be payable. Of course, I can also give them grace period if something is wrong and they should have some to change something. Of course, I can just simply submit that. Okay, so let's say that I will approve all the time, all that stuff. And right now I can go to the reports, which is most important, because here I can see how Steam was performing and how our billable tracking hours with Tempo Timesheets has been done. So here we've got the Tempo reports module embedded in Tempo tools. So here I'll be checking the log time for the blue leaf team. So right now, the report will be filtered by a team, the contractors team. And I want to see only the billable accounts hours. So I will just like group these by project account and let's say for an issue. Okay, it should be okay. So right now, as you can see, I can see all hours logged against some certain period. So okay, I can just like change it and, for example, check it how it was from 6th of October to today and apply that. You can also see how the data would change. For example, right now. Oh, sorry. Let's see the accounts here also. Sorry. Okay, so we can see how the billable hours are being spent for this project. So we can see how many of billable hours will be spent and how many hours will be logged against the issues and divided by users that were involved in the Blue Leaf's contractors team. So now you can save the report and export it to, for example, Excel format. Then the PM can send this report to the financial accounting team in order to create an invoice so that Blue Leaf can pay the contractors for their billable work. So as you can see, as you can see, Tempo creates the best-in-class automated integrated solutions designed to help customers unlock the true benefit and true value of tracking time. So this add-on is a powerful way to provide value to your organization. So that's all for my part. Michele, now floor is yours.
All right. First of all, thank you very much for the presentation of Tempo. You know, we're using it at Decadis as well, and we're very happy with it. And yeah, now it's my time to present you our answer to the working law in Europe, especially. So yeah, first of all, short introduction. Yeah, I'm Michele. Hi, I'm working currently at Decadis as a marketing manager. And Decadis is a full stack service provider for Atlassian, in the Atlassian ecosystem. So we're both developing apps such as Tempo Timesheets and consulting our customers regarding any questions in Jira, Confluence, or other Atlassian products. So yeah, that's short about Decadis itself. And let's have a look at the marketplace. We currently have 10 apps on the marketplace, both in cloud hosting and on-premise. And all these little monsters up here represent an app which is both useful, which can be used as an everyday helper, or which can extensively help Jira administrators in their work in Jira. For example, on the top left corner, as you can see, is Jira Workflow Toolbox, the currently best rated app in the Atlassian marketplace, which we are very proud of. But yeah, today our focus will be on the monster on the left side. Little time clock, the stopwatch is Timesheet Check. And yeah, Timesheet Check is a cloud fortified app in the Atlassian marketplace, and it integrates seamlessly or very easy with Tempo Timesheets. But yeah, for us, the most important part is like working towards a customer, some helping there with any needs. So we developed Tempo Timesheets, Timesheet Check for Jira, sorry, in order for every Tempo user to check various timesheets within seconds according to the working time law. So in the EU had a law which was, I think, started in 2013 and was a few weeks ago once again mentioned in the German labor court as well. And it states that member states must require employees to set up an objective, reliable, and accessible system enabling the duration of time worked each day by each worker to be measured. Sounds very dry and heavy, but to be honest, that's where Timesheet Check for Jira jumps in and will help you to assure that every rule there is in both EU law as well as individual country law is taken in consideration, is in compliance with it. So yeah, but rather than telling you more about it, just like Filip did, I'd like to show you firsthand how Tempo Timesheet or Timesheet Check works and integrates into Tempo. All right, then let's switch to the app. And now this is the setting of Timesheet Check. First of all, what I wanted to show you is how to create a connection between Tempo and Timesheet Check, which is at first second, it might sound a bit different or difficult because you have to authenticate it. But yeah, I really wanted to show you how it works because it couldn't be easier. All right, then let's start with the authentication, which is like explained in every step, and there is as well videos in our documentation where you can rewatch it, for example. But we will start a new application with a link. This is the old one, which you can delete quickly, but yeah, we create a new application. We copy and paste the name in here and the redirect URI. Just copy as well. Just in here, we select a confidential, since it's working time as a confidential aspect, so we do need that, and use the authorization code. create an application, and then we get these two fields, which is the client ID and the client secret. And all we have to do now is click on next and paste those two informations in here. As you can see, there's a picture as well. Let's go back, just client ID copied and client secret copied as well in here. Next. And all we have to do then is to authorize it. Just click. Yes, we do trust this app. And as we can see now, in a matter of seconds, we have authorized Timesheet Check to access Tempo Timesheets, and that's all we have to do. So as you can see, in a matter of seconds or a few minutes, we've already done the authorization, which is very, very easy. And yes, now basically Timesheet Check is in the center. There are two main factors here in the center: the rules and reports. We're going to start with a rule where, as you can see, these rules are in there by default. So the maximum average work time, the maximum daily work time is in there by default. And you won't have to do any changes. You, of course, can do changes, but these preset rules are in there. And of course, you can just create a new rule just on up here. And for example, if we've got a working student in Germany who's only allowed to work 20 hours a week, we can just create a rule for the working week. And there it is. We've got a name, which we of course have to give the rule, which is for here, maximum weekly working hours for working students. That's our name now. We don't really need a description because the name is descriptive itself. And then we've got a mathematical operator, which is either less or equal or greater or equal. So yeah, we of course will use the less or equal and 20 hours, because as we said before, working students are only allowed to work 20 hours a week. Then submit. And again, in a matter of seconds, we've got a new rule right here: maximum weekly working hours for working students. And yeah, this is the first key feature of Timesheet Check. But the even greater or better feature is the reports or other reports. We are here at the overview, where we can, of course, create a new report with different rules and different timesheets. But don't want to go into detail with this option. I just really want to show you how these reports look like, because that's the great part at Timesheet Check. And then let's just head into the app itself. And check for a report. All right. This is the app itself. And if you want to check a report, for example, we use the demo team report for the period of May, which is where our data lies right now, which you can run. And as you can see now, within a few seconds, we've got the entire Tempo timesheets from every employee who's in the team checked with on failures, warning, and successes. Of course, successes are great because they apply to every rule we've declared in the report. And yes, you can see Thorsten, great employee, has applied to all the rules. Then we've got warnings, and warnings are always when the app couldn't find any work logs. And if there are no work logs, nothing can be checked or fails. Nothing can fail or pass through the regulation. So that's why we did this other filter of warnings. And yeah, and then we've got the, let's say, not so pretty part of failures, but for us, it's very easy to check. So as we can see now here, every rule has a known line, and there's every day where the rule isn't being held, there we've got the day. For example, we've got May 8th, and which is no logs on non-working day. And if you want to see now what Marcel did on May 8th, we can just click here. And then there is the actual day opening. Okay, we can see he worked on the bug with the key TIS 148 for 8 hours. Okay, but he did it on Sunday. And in the settings of Tempo Timesheets, we declared that Sunday isn't a work day. So that's one failure. We can send him over and say, hey, Marcel, why did you work on Sunday? Was it just, did you do a mistake and booked it by mistake on Sunday, or what happened there? And yeah, these are all the rules we've got here. And for example, if you want to go into another rule, the working hours, we can look at May 2nd. And again, we can see what he logged on May 2nd. And yeah, seems like he was very eager to work on this particular Monday, because he worked for 24 hours, but which is quite hard to do. But yeah, another thing, we can just contact him and say, here, I guess you made a mistake. Maybe did you just work for 1 hour on this issue, or what happened there? And as you can see, this is Tempo Timesheet Check is a very, very easy possibility to check various timesheets within seconds for the compliancy of the EU or country working law regulations. And yeah, that's basically my very short introduction to, in my opinion, a very, very powerful helper, especially in the EU, for the working law compliancy. And yes, I think all I have to do now is go back to the presentation, and it's time for you. Do you have any questions